nature abhors an hegemon and has powers far more than sufficient to drive the same loco, and always does, always will. This fact is an occasion for faith. For sanity to be maintained, faith in this fact is essential. The Chinese are not 12-foot men. As Chinese, they are by turns charming, filthy, beguiling, cheats, sorcerers, and racists. Exceedingly racist, exceptionally deceitful. As Chicoms, they are hegemons into the bargain, but they are not, in any description, 12-foot men. I am a MacArthur man. I grew up on the Pacific Coast. I am a Western American. I wear a Western hat and Western boots. I carry a handgun. My sense of my country's spirit and development finds those pointing westward. To me, Asia is America's West, and the Asian littoral is America's Western defense perimeter. To me, China is the far west, not the far east. I see America's teleological force vectors pointed west, not east. My entire life experience confirms that observation as accurate. Our distant ancestors, Italians and Spaniards, sought convenient passage westward to China and India for trade in those nations. They knew that northward passage was frozen and eastward passage freighted by slavers, extortionists, and brigands, aka Muslims. Our direct ancestors were English Calvinists seeking religious freedom, and Scots Calvinists and Catholics seeking mostly commerce, but also general freedom. Soon, news of the opportunity for freedom reached and inspired persons at most points on the globe to emigrate to the U.S. to learn and expand their own and America's freedom. Freedom. The vector of American exploration, the genius of American energy, points westward across the Pacific Ocean. Americans left the East, we left Europe, and we left the Middle East, which are east across the Atlantic Ocean. This is the old world. That is the old world. We left it. We came west, and westward is how we think and respond. We framed and raised a new world west of the old world, a world through which the sounds of freedom ring and reign. For this reason, we purchased Alaska from Russia when offered that far west, and raised the American flag even farther west, in Hawaii and the Philippines. We prosecuted and won a war to make the Pacific Ocean a quiet zone for freedom of movement, for international trade and commerce, others as well as our own. Now, a nation in our West, and in thrall to the idolatry of communism, which is inherently inimical to freedom, which is Americanism, announces intention to rule trade and commerce, indeed comms altogether, throughout the Pacific Ocean area and beyond. That would be China under Chicom dictatorship. They are self-announced hegemonic hegemons with the facilities of a nation-state at their behest. This is serious. Hegemons are either accepted or defeated, paid off or killed, worshipped or deramped. Hegemons accept no other response to their intention and activity. Hegemons, much like everyone else as well, respect only those who stand to protect and defend their own freedom. Americans stand to protect and defend their freedom and are accorded, accordingly, respect by citizens of other nations. A man without prestige is not a man. A man who stands to protect and defend his own divine nature and the full panoply of freedom appertaining thereto is a man of respect, a prestigious man. Only the divine has respect, and from that, prestige. Only those who force into actuality, into embodiment in this world, the rights they own inalienably in virtue of their own divine nature, are believed. Unofficially and sua sponte, I have thought to think through on my own essentials of Pacific Pathways doctrine. These essentials may be conveyed in 3 points. 1. Nothing happens unless it is forced to happen. Rely on mission command rather than on command and control. Authority originates in the depths, rises through the heights, and spreads across the expanses. Propagation and saturation like concerted sound in a cathedral. Mission command is a philosophy, originally German, used by a commander to conduct the symphony of activity that is war fighting. The symphony of activity that is war fighting. The tools for war fighting that are available to a commander, the divisions of the symphony he conducts, are called war fighting functions. They are intelligence, fires/cyber/information operations, movement and maneuver, sustainment, protection, and command and control. Mission command excludes contributions from the good idea fairy. 2. Compel Chi-Coms to march simultaneously into multiple battlefronts. Confront them with the fearsome travails of multi-domain operations. Emplace logistics trains to support full-spectrum, multi-domain, diplomatic, financial, and warfighting force, the latter to comprise battalion strength at least, on the flank of each of 4 possible Chinese Communist lines of march. North into Russia, east into Taiwan, Philippines, Guam, Hawaii, California, Oregon, Washington, and Latin America. Southeast into Southeast Asia, and south into India. 3. All warfighting assets, branches of service, i.e. branches of service, subserve the Army mission. Her Army is a nation's fundamental armed force and sole guarantor of sovereign freedom. An Army's mission is to deramp foreign hegemons eyeing harm to Americans by denying them succor derived from landed basing aka logistics support. Logistics must be landed somewhere. A nation's protective force, her army, is as potent as its logistics support is copious and reliable. Viewing Indo-Pacific as a whole, these total/joint, i.e. diplomacy, finance, warfighting, force posture necessities should be noted. 1. Indo-Pacific is an army show because the army is the lead component of the total/joint force, which includes also state and treasury departments, facing the region's chief hegemon, China. Every COCOM is an army-led show. Army necessities govern the deployment of all three assets of U.S. statecraft: diplomacy, finance, warfighting. 2. One cannot make sense geographically on a map of a USA national strategic objective to defeat or even to neutralize Chinese Communist aggressive hegemonic imperialism unless army necessities govern dispositions of the Indo-Pacific total joint force. Except for naval, surface, air, submarine attack, and marine assault, the Indo-Pacific joint force component is land-based, army, forward artillery of various ranges, cyber and space being the longest ranged. These forces, naval, surface, air, submarine attack, and marine assault, are supporting Army strategic and tactical necessities. Naval, surface, air, submarine attack, marine assault, and Air Force are for clearance of Army Pacific pathways and Asian mainland pathways if, as likely and reasonable, it comes to that. Army should be carrying Navy, not Navy, Army, in Indo-Pacific and all other PACOMs, and all other COCOMs. 5. The problem set in Indo-Pacific is land-based, not water or air-based, and especially so when facing Chinese aggressive hegemonic imperialism, which is the palpable salient fact in that COCOM. Naval/marine, air, cyber, and space operations are Army operations extended and coordinated along with diplomacy and finance in the multi-domain battle space. There is this foundational guidance. 5 axioms of Pacific pathways. Axiom 1. To de-ramp CHICOM hegemonics, USA must ally with Russia and India to that effect. Axiom 2. To de-ramp Arab Pan-African hegemonics, USA must ally with Russia and India to that effect. Axiom 3. To de-ramp Euro-American socialist hegemonics, USA must ally with Russia and India to that effect. Axiom 4. USA, Russia, and India should invite Japan and Egypt into their circle of decision and force. Axiom 5. Hegemons do not deramp unless forced to it. Enfin, 5 observations dans la journée. Finally, 5 observations for the day. Extraordinary, is it not, that in the space of a few short years, say 2 at most, the U.S. intelligence foreign policy establishment has gone from China is a global competitor to we are at war with China. Peoples are reclaiming their identities as nations comprising sovereign freedom. The sons and daughters of God are de-globalizing. Americans are born to self-govern. Imposed governance, global governance, is hateful to Americans. Freedom means self-government. Freedom is self-governance. Not by values, not by psychology, not by laws, not by politics, not by education, not by war, not even by religion. Go we. But by faith in God, which is faith in our own divine nature. We have a criminal conspiracy masquerading as our national security apparatus. Only the humble are strong. They rely on intelligence, small I, not intelligence, capital I. Thank you for attending this reading from Adwaita Hermitage on the subject of theological geography. My blog, theological-geography.net, is currently under improvement with videos I'm going to be making now reading my posts.